When we reached Falaise in France, the South Staffords were then broken up. All the division was broken up.
Why?
Well, there weren't enough replacements. We then had to join different regiments, and I joined the Royal Scots Fusiliers, the 11th Battalion Royal Scots Fusiliers. And I had to still take over a section when I joined them.
You had to what?
Still have a section, take over a section.
And what do you remember about your combat experiences with the Royal Scot Fusiliers?
Being at one position by a castle which we had just taken, the German tanks advanced with the troops behind them, and we were all sitting ducks. And I said we had an anti-tank gun, a Piat gun, which was useless really, but it would throw a bomb out. Anyway, I said, I'll get on the Piat. So I got on the Piat, had the tank in my sights, and waiting, frightened to death. And all of a sudden the tanks were blowing up. Our tanks were in what they call harbour, just behind us, which I didn't know. And of course, the Germans then withdrew as fast as they could. And the tanks were in.
Did you fire the Piat?
I fired a house and that. Because that's all you could do, hit a house. If there were German soldiers in the house, we would then get the Piat, which was a personal infantry anti-tank, that's what Piat means. And you would fire it at a house, and it would blow a hole in the side of a house. Not very big, but it would be enough to frighten the hell out of people. We landed about 12 days after the invasion, so we were quite a nice easy landing. We only got our ankles wet. We didn't have to carry our rifles above our heads like those that landed on D-Day. So we had a clear run in. But when we did run in, we would still get screamed at because the shells were coming down on the beach.
Then what happened?
Then we reformed. When we landed, we reformed, and then we went into near Bayeux, which was already taken. The first town that was taken, big town. And we dug in outside Bayeux, facing the enemy. That's where we dug in, made our slit trenches, and we were ready for anything that came back at us. We were in a defensive position.
What was going on in your head? You're about to get into your first combat. What are you thinking about?
What the hell's going to happen now? That was what we thought. What the hell's going to happen now? But nothing happened for a while because we were in a defensive position, and luckily there was no attacks made during that time.
Take me through your first experience in combat. The first time you got into a firefight.
The first real attack that we went into, we went in line as though we'd like the First World War, and we had the rifles fixed, bayonets fixed, and advanced into a place called the Chateau, which was heavily defended by Hitlerjugend Panzer Grenadiers. They were really tough soldiers. Anyway, the snipers picked off some of the lads, so we all stayed in the long grass, cornfield. We stayed there. I crawled towards the Captain McIntyre. I said, "Sir, what do you want us to do now?" He said, "Just stay there." He said, "Would you get up and run towards the wall behind us to see if there's any fire. So I said, well, can I take my equipment off? He said, yes, okay, take your equipment off and make towards the wall, see if it draws any fire. So I got to the wall, no fire. So then we all withdrew. And we withdrew behind the start line and we started off again from there. The next thing, tanks came along and the tanks obliterated the building that we were attacking, and then we advanced into it and found a lot of Germans dead. And that was the first attack we ever went into. And our wounded and dead we have to take out.
When you got to the chateau eventually, after the tanks came and assisted, were there still Germans fighting back?
No, all gone. Those that were alive had gone.
Did you see the tanks firing in the chateau?
Oh, the tanks were with us. They were helping us.
Describe what did you see happen when the tanks would fire at the chateau?
The tanks came up behind us and they put some rounds of ammunition into the chateau, which was a delight to us because we were able to get through without any more incidents. And the Germans had all gone, and those that were there were all the dead bodies.
My first major, you
One of the first major attacks that we took place was, they're called the Chateau just outside Caen, which was quite a big city in France. And this was one of the defences of Caen by the Germans. We all advanced on the chateau in line, and then the snipers were just picking us off. The German snipers were just picking us off, and one went down beside, just to the left of me.
Another soldier.
Another soldier went down to the left of me, and then other soldiers were calling my name. Because of my name, it was easy to remember, and I had to then direct the stretcher bearers to those men that were wounded. But then we all got down in the long wheat and lay there, and then I crawled along to the company commander who was in the slit trench that was made by the Germans for the Germans initial defending. We'd overrun that one, and I said, "What do you want us to do from here, sir?" He said, "Would you see if there's any more firing and go back towards the starting position, the start line?" So I said, "Can I take my equipment off?" He said, "Yes." "Okay, take it off." I took the equipment off and I went towards the start line. Nobody fired, so we assumed that the Germans could not attack us, so we withdrew behind the walls of the start line.